Hopefully, I remember my line.
Oh, Lord.
You ready?
We're live.
You
Yes,
ready?
we
We're
are.
live.
Yeah,
Let's
what's
go.
up?
Greetings and welcome. This is the JCBIY Events Talk Show, and I'm your producer / director, vocalist John Carr, a star from another galaxy, a soldier of love.
And I am Valencia M, a singer, a writer, a performer. I am a shining star, y'all.
You were
Okay.
happy
I'm
You
feeling
were
good.
happy, okay.
I'm
No matter
feeling
where
good.
you are.
Okay.
Okay,
And
go.
I am the assistant director and the host of the JCBIY Events Talk
I feel
Show.
like some dark
And-
meat in between sounds.
You know what? Shut up.
Oh.
And our
I'm co-pilot. Oh, I'm
yes.
a co-pilot. I
You're
like
the co-pilot, honey. Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I am
Mhm.
Jourdeanna Yates. I am a speaker, motivational speaker, businesswoman, entrepreneur, and just, focused on making sure that individuals live out their best lives
Yes.
through career success, helping them find their purpose in life. So,
Okay. And what's your business name?
I'm sorry.
we gotta plug it. We gotta plug it.
Chosen Career
Okay.
Consultant.
Yes.
Chosen Career. We want to show you that you have choices, and that means that you have choices. So let's go.
Yes, we do.
So we are here at the Hideout's Hideout, y'all, with our live audience. We have in the audience a gentleman who needs no introduction.
I love it.
Dee,
All
also
right.
known as Charles Brinkley, y'all.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm going over here. Wait.
We appreciate it. You gonna turn it? You gonna turn the show on? There you go.
Thanks
Show
for having me. I
up.
appreciate
That's
y'all,
it.
CEO and founder of Feel Good Talk.
Thank you.
And he does so many other
Thanks
things
for having
that I can't,
I like that.
can't,
Feel good talk.
Well, you know what? When you believe, after you believe in yourself, the process is feeling good. So I can't wait to have Feel Good Talk in the audience at one of our major events, doing what they do, videography and talking to people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yes.
Let us know. Let us know.
Yes, indeed. We're working on it.
Yes.
Again, we're at the Hideout out in Chester, PA. Was I supposed to say that? All right.
Listen, you do whatever you
I like
want
to joke
to,
a lot, y'all
John
don't
Carr.
mind.
That's the
Do
producer.
whatever
He
you
knows what
want
he wants.
to.
Happiness.
So
is
every
key.
Saturday from 4 to 5 o'clock, we come to you with topics that affect the community, that affect individuals, and obviously just want to inspire people to believe in themselves and help them to be able to move forward. So all the topics that we pick are geared to get you to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Really is what it's about.
We talked the last month or so. We talked about blended families, and there's always stuff to talk about with blended families. But we are now going to talk about the 3 things that keep you from success.
Yes.
Okay. So and our co-host Jourdeanna.
That's
She's
it.
going to take the helm of this, and we are just going to have a whole discussion about this. She talked the last week at our social networking event and tore it up. Just really motivated and inspired all of the people in the audience. We all took something from it, and we want to be able to make sure that everyone has this information. So we want to share.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to tell you, so I've gotten so many just like DMs this week. I'm going to give God Strength a shout out. She hit me up this morning, first thing, like 7 a.m. But I just, I've gotten so many DMs this week just about the first thing that we talked about. And I think we're going to just stay focused on that one. Let's pick the first one of the 3.
Yeah.
We're going to start today and talk about fear. And it's a word that I don't think anybody likes to own or admit to or walk in, yet every last one of us at some point exhibits some type of fear. And so what we want to talk about is what that fear is, how it hinders us from being successful. And that's not just career success, but that's being successful in health and wellness. That's being successful in living out your dreams and, just kind of wanting to go to the next level in anything that you do. And so we just want to be able to kind of walk away today with giving you some things that are going to help you to rebrand and retrain that fear into faith. I mean, the opposite of fear is faith, right? Like fear is you believe that something negative is going to happen, so you don't do it. You're scared and you believe that something negative is going to happen. And so to me, the opposite of that is faith. I'm going to believe the opposite, right? Even though everything tells me differently, I'm going to believe the positive instead of believing the negative. And that's, what's your line? Come on. What's the facts? Come on.
Opinions do not produce results. Facts do.
Facts do. Exactly.
Have those. Yes.
And so a lot of times, we create this fear in our head that is bigger than what it has to be. And it could be for anything. So I'll put myself out there. I have been hearing in my house, like at night, I've been hearing this sound above my head. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist. And so I was scared. Like, I literally was fearful of knowing what it was or having to deal with what it was. And so I chose to bury my head in the sand and act like it didn't exist. Until that noise started getting real loud. They sound like they was up there moving furniture.
Oh, no.
So I said, oh, okay. All right. So I cannot be fearful anymore. And the crazy thing is that I got the situation taken care of in literally a week. I called 2 or 3 different people, and then yesterday it was taken care of. But I've been hearing this noise for 2 months. And and it could have gotten worse because I lived in the fear. And that to me is the first thing that you think you've got time, right? You think you've got time. And I'm not saying, listen, it's never too late to do something. But when you feel like, oh, I got time, that makes it worse. Like it compounds, right? Like whatever it is, it doesn't get better on its own. Like you have to do something for it to get better. So I use myself as an example just to kind of show one of those basic fears, but there's big ones that stop us all day. And I know you deal with this a lot with clients that have health issues, that want to eat better, that want to do well, that want your services, but there's a fear of having to
give up everything that they love.
I mean, you want me to stop eating like bread, and you want me to give up sugar, and you want me to So
I can't have. But instead of focusing on the things that you can have, focus on the things that you can have, the things that are good for you. And that's what I've been telling, clients that I have. You don't have to change everything at one time. You start by little things. And this is what I've had to learn, because everyone is not as extreme as I am. Everybody's not going to just like, no more. I don't want no more of that. Get it out of here. Get it away from me.
She's a cold turkey.
Yeah, I am. And it's very difficult. Not everybody can do that. So instead of taking away, add to. Add more vegetables. Add more fruits. Add more nuts. Add more healthier things. And as you add those things to your diet, the other things that you were eating, you won't want them as much. You won't crave all of that stuff as much. So, and I also, and in my what I'm licensed for is an expanded function dental assistant. I deal with people who have fear of the dentist all the time. And I had a fear of the dentist before I got into before I got into the field. But those are my favorite patients. I care for them because I know how it feels. And so when I talk to them and explain things to them on why they should come in or what is going to help prevent it, makes a difference for them. Listen, nobody's more surprised and shocked that I'm in the dental field than me. Okay, because I was like, I ain't going. I don't want to go. I don't like it. Them people are mean. I don't want them touching me. What they doing in my mouth? None of that stuff. Like so I totally understand. I'm very sympathetic with them, and also just making them feel comfortable with me. I've had people cry. I've had people, like, hey, here I am. I held a hand. Whatever you need. I rub a shoulder. Whatever I need to do to make people feel more comfortable to get work done. I do that. And it's the same thing with anything in my life. I want people to be comfortable and trust, because it's a very hard thing to establish. So
I love how you opened up by asking everyone. Let me be louder. Asking everyone if they wanted to go to prison.
Oh, so it's funny. I was gonna bring that up because it's sort of like it's an eye opener, right? Because that's what fear is. Fear is a self-imposed jail that you're putting yourself into. And really the question that you have to ask yourself, because like I said in the beginning, we all are gonna have moments of fear or things that we're scared of. The question is how much time you want to do, how long you want to stay in prison, right? You want to serve an hour or you want to serve 10 years. You understand what I mean? So it's like I'm allowed to be. So I've been in prison for 2 months, right? Dealing with that noise.
Yeah.
But I could have been in prison for a year or for longer than that. So the question isn't, the fact that fear is going to come up. The question is, how long do you want to be in this self-imposed jail? I don't do jail well, okay? Orange is not the new black for me. Red is not the new black. I don't do jail. Like, okay, I'm too tall for a jumpsuit. Sometimes the legs are short. Like, it just doesn't work for me. So I don't want to live in that self-imposed jail for too long. So the first tip that we gave you was you have to undo the negative thinking, right? And so we talked about you gotta either be able. Oh, you got your book. So we've gotta undo the negative thinking, and that's the first thing. And so you've got to make decisions that I'm not gonna think on the negative, and that's what you were talking about with the dental field, and that's what my experience has been for the last 15 years with working with people in their careers. It's not that people don't want to be successful. No one wakes up and says, I just think I want to work for minimum wage, or I just think I want to be homeless or whatever. It's just that they live in fear and they don't know what to do. They can't, they're so paralyzed by it that they don't know how to move forward. And so the first thing is undo negative thinking. Undo the negative thinking that keeps you in that self-imposed jail. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you undo the negative thinking? So I'll tell you one of the big things for me, and this is a big John Carr thing as well. I believe what you say out of your mouth matters. And so if you walk around, first of all, nobody wants to be around negative people. So if you walk around doom, gloom, right? Like if you walk around, oh, nothing's going to be great for me. Today is going to be miserable. I think I see a cloud. Like if everything is negative, right? Then you can't undo the negative thinking unless you start speaking positivity. And the challenge with that is you have to speak things that you don't see. You have to speak things that aren't here yet. And so it's crazy. Like my niece went to Spain. I think it was between her junior and senior year. She went to Spain and she brought me back a little bell. And I joke with everybody, she brought me back a bell because I talked to a staff that I don't have. I talked to a personal chef. I talked to an assistant. And so people laugh at that. But part of that for me is just speaking into existence the things that I am believing for in my life. And they're not here now. But guess what? Don't be mad when my personal chef is making Thanksgiving dinner. Okay.
Don't be looking at me.
I know. I call her my personal chef too.
And that's so true because a lot of stuff that I spoke, like you said, I speak to myself and say stuff out loud. And a lot of it, in fact, all of it has come true.
That's it.
So that's
but you spoke it. But like you spoke it before it came true.
I spoke it way before.
Way before. That's why I like that whole feel good talk. You know what I'm saying? That feel good talk. That's it. That's it. And that's it. Mind, body, soul, and business. Because you can't be successful in love, in business relationships, in personal relationships, in friendships, in family relationships, if you are negative. So if your mind, your body, and your soul aren't aligned in those other things.
And a lot of people walk around with these that are negative. And I think when you're not around, and I try to exclude myself from negative people. I do that all the time. Like I don't really hang with too many people because some people will destroy your dreams. You ever been around a person and you could just feel the negativity coming off of them. And it takes more for you to even be around this person, just because of the negative spirit that they have. So a lot of times I try to get away from that because, like I said, they'll bring your day down. Like it takes more energy to be negative than it does to be positive.
It's tiring.
And a lot of times you got to change your circle, change the people that you're around. Because if you're always trying to do the right things and always the big elephant in the room, it's time to roll out.
Yeah.
And when I don't mean big elephant by money and all that,
no.
I'm talking about in general. Just in general, you're trying to do the right thing. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're trying to do the right thing and you have those negative people around you, they bring you down and they hold you back. So it's always trying to move on, no matter what the situation is. So that's what I try to do, and I try to stay focused on.
It's crazy because the next thing I have here, right? It says undo wrong thinking, and the last one was next one was quiet the dream killer, right? And that's what you're talking about. Because when you have people around you, and listen, the reason that my niece and I are like this, the reason my sister and I are like this is because when I talk about those things that I don't have or the staff that I don't have, they don't go, stop it, you crazy, They go right along with it. That's what I need. I need people in my corner that are riding with me, that are encouraging me, and that are saying, absolutely, you want that, whatever it is.
But see, that's it. On the flip side of that too, you need someone that can also put you back in your place sometimes when you're or you're going off the wrong path. Like to me, a lot of people say we're hiking, say that's my buddy, so I'm going to ride with him regardless. No, you don't. If you see him going in the wrong direction or her going in the wrong direction, you need to pull that coach and say, listen, you ain't doing right. It's because we cool. I'm not going to let you stray and do what
you can't be no yes man or yes woman.
That's not being your friend. That's not even being your friend. So a lot of people get that confused and mixed up. The people that mainly people that are in these little cliques. So that's who really get that confused about doing the right thing. You see somebody going wrong, like, hey man, look, you messing up. You need that. But then as soon as you do that, a lot of them that's negative, they won't want to hear it. Oh, he's hating or he's doing it. No, I'm just trying to tell you the truth because you're not doing it.
And know the difference.
Right.
Like you gotta know the difference.
Right. But that's the challenge, right? The challenge is, and this is where the balance comes in, and we're not taught these skills in school. So like, first of all, we are not meant to go at it alone. So I am leery when I sit down and I meet with someone and they're like, no, I'm a loner, I do everything. That's not good. Just as much. It really isn't. Just as much as it's not good for that person to be the clique, right? To get along. I'm gonna do it because my clique does it, and so I'm gonna ride. So neither one of those things are good. There's a balance to it. And one of the things we talked about Saturday at our JCBIY social networking event, and if you missed it, you missed something good. But one of the things that we talked about was we all need help. So you've got to identify who's in your circle. And we're not taught how to identify someone who may be a dream killer and remove them, but then find people that are going to challenge you and make you better, people that are going to hold you accountable and make you better, people that are going to end up helping you to get to that next level. And so when we say, remove dream killers or, be aware of those dream killers in your life when it comes to fear, it's not about you cutting yourself off from everybody. You cannot do that. That is not a healthy thing. You need good people. So you've got to have a good power of your spidey senses, right? Like I'm about my superheroes right now, but your spidey senses have to say, this person's intentions are not good. This person has the best intentions. And it's okay for people to be in your life for what was the old saying? A reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? Like it's okay for you to have those types of relationships.
But you can also limit, the amount of time that you give to those people who are negative, who are bringing you down, who don't have anything to add to your life. Even if it's your sister, even if it's your mama, if it's your, if you have to limit or handle them with that long spoon, then that's what you have to do in order to not allow them to affect you with their negativity. And it's very important for us to do that. We want to be, we think that we need to be loyal because that's my family. You need to be loyal to yourself first and foremost. You got to be loyal to yourself. If you can't do that, then you want to be right there where everybody else is. So
that was one of the DMs I got this week. One of the young ladies was talking about, for her success, she felt like her family is the reason why she's not. And she doesn't know what to do because she loves her family and she doesn't believe that they're intentionally sucking the life out of her. But right now, that's the place. And it could just be during this time period, she needs a little bit more me time. And they've been used to her giving more of herself. And so that, you know, one of the things that we're talking about is finding balance, right? So you've got to undo the negative thinking, right? In terms of trying to identify dream killers, you've got to find good balance of people in your life, good balance of family time and work time and me time. And I guess for me, the pandemic should have taught us all a whole lot about that, right? Like you were all of a sudden thrust into situations where you're like, oh my God, I'm either by myself all the time or now I'm stuck in this house with this man, all these people. So you still have to find, send the authorities and save me. But you got to find that. You got to find that good balance for some self-time as well as time for your loved ones too.
I think, you know, the pandemic was a good thing. You know, for me, I mean, if you didn't get something out of this, then something's wrong. You know, the thing is, you know, get right with yourself because a lot of times, a lot of people are restricted. So like you said, they were in the house a lot. So that's the time to actually sit back and evaluate your life, evaluate your whole situation and sit back and say, what can I do better to change my life? Or what can I do to better whatever you're trying to do? You know what I mean? And a lot of people, some people didn't take advantage of that. You know,
I'm sure a lot of people did.
You know, I know a lot of people that did, but a lot of people didn't. So again, that's
a missed opportunity. That's what it comes to.
That was a hell of an opportunity to take. And it could have been a life-changing opportunity
for people.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna plug right here too. Sorry, I'm gonna plug it because every Sunday, right here at the Ride Out's Hideout, you have an opportunity to take some self-care, self-love time, right?
Yes.
With
me, Valencia and with Yasmin.
First Lady.
Yes. Let me do First Lady Ride Out. First Lady Ride Out.
First Lady.
Because this is her spot, okay?
First Lady, okay. Michelle Obama up in here, y'all. Miss First Lady.
And we have the healing hands of Yasmin Farouk with Optimum Mobile Massage. I'm not sure if Love Sense is going to be here this Sunday.
Will be here.
Okay, so
skincare product.
Tell them what it's called. Tell them what the Sundays are called.
Soothing Sundays. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. The tickets are $100. It's a 2-hour window that you have, and I always So y'all missed it last week because I made fresh salmon cakes. Okay, I made fresh salmon cakes with quinoa. What else did I make? Oh no, that was another meal. Oh no, that was my mama's meal. That was my mama's meal. Okay, all right. But anyway,
with some vegetables,
with some veggies,
the
right?
Rice with the curry sauce on top.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I made. But I made some moumalade. That moumalade was good. Okay, y'all missed it.
That's good.
If you didn't come,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would have probably bought a potato roll to go ahead and put that salmon cake on. She'd have been mad. Valencia would have been mad at me, but I'd have put it on a potato roll.
I think you had a roll. Didn't you have a sandwich? Can you make a sandwich out? Was it hamburger bun?
You made one. That was good. He made a daggone with white.
I call that my balance. Okay, I'm allowed to have vegetables. We're talking balance.
I had
all that for just $100, family. That's a masseuse alone is going to be $100 per hour. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's all about self-care, which ties right back into believing in yourself. Loving, which is needing, respecting, and caring for yourself, knowing that your first and last love is self-love. You can't do nothing for nobody if you do it for yourself.
So hit us up. Soulful Sundays. That self-care time is super important. So. All right, so we're gonna go back to fear here, right? Go ahead. I know you got it.
I like to find balance and good people in your life. Touch on that some more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are individuals that are necessary to you in terms of your personal and professional growth. And so my sister and I went to this phenomenal women's power event in DC.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2019.
Was it 2019?
It was 2019. It was like the beginning of 2019.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
March or April of 2019.
Yeah.
And it talked about helping us to sort of step into our power. And shortly after that, I watched this woman here take just these major steps in terms of doing the things that she wanted to do. And so, all of that led to her working with this wonderful man here as a vocalist, as one of. Oh Lord,
Please
now it's on tape.
It's
on tape. I can't even take it back.
I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying?
Rewind.
And ain't nobody had to pat you on the back. You gotta do it yourself.
Oh my Lord.
But no, as her vocalist coach, and I'm sorry right now. I think you need to have people in your corner who hype you up and talk about your positive things, because sometimes you don't do it yourself. So I'm gonna hype this woman up real quick. But she got out of her own way. She got out of fear and sat and took a moment and thought about, what do I want to, what do I really want to do? And what is something that would make me happy?
Right.
And she came up with singing. And so she found a vocalist coach that came from a referral from a family member. Hey, Cousin Pam.
Hey, Pam.
But came from a family member. And now as a result, she has just kind of taken that into so many different other avenues. But it would not have happened, and those doors wouldn't have opened, and those important connections wouldn't have been made if she lived in that self-imposed jail.
Right.
If you were still in jail, there would be no talk show happening right now. There would be no vocalist client. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have had her as a vocalist client. She'd still be living in fear. And so she got herself out of that self-imposed jail. It's not too late, which isn't the excuse to give you time to procrastinate and put it off. But I don't care how old you are. It doesn't matter. One of my clients that I've been working with, Lady D, 69 years old now, became a Zumba instructor at the age of 67. And during this pandemic, she's been wanting to do some things virtually. And so we did a couple little test runs and showed her how to do some virtual stuff. And now she's feeling so much better about herself. And so she chose at 67 and 69 to get out of the self-imposed jail and to do what she wanted to do. And so it's possible for you, I think, is the piece. You need good connections. We cannot do this alone. I don't know how often I can say this. And I'll speak for you. I'm gonna have you speak for men, but I'm gonna speak for women. I feel like we're so prone to, we have to be strong, and we're super women, and I'm a single mom, and I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. I'm showing my age. Remember that commercial? But I'm showing my age. Sorry. But we're so prone to saying we can do it all that we're afraid to say, sis, I'm gonna need some help, because right now I don't know what to do. Or what we'll do is we'll retreat. And so we'll lock ourselves in our house, in our bedroom, and going down this spiral instead of just saying, I could use some help right now. Can you please phone a, what was the game show? Phone a friend. You know what I mean? Come on, phone a friend.
I got a friend.
There's a lifeline. You need a lifeline. And I found, because some of the clients that I work with are ex-convicts. They are trying to figure out the next steps for their career, and they are afraid that their criminal record is going to get in their way. Now, not a ne'er one of those men would admit that they're afraid. Not ne'er one would say that it's fear. But I recognize that they're sitting there, terrified that I'm going to shut a door, or that an employer is going to shut the door. And so, do men acknowledge that fear? Like, do they have fear? Do they acknowledge that fear? Like, because y'all are taught the same thing. Not to. Y'all got to be tough.
I can't speak to everybody. I was rebellious because I kind of knew my mindset is where I wanted to be at. So I can't speak for everybody on that. But some people that I work with, they don't identify with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing it in private, it's showing in actions, the limitations in the actions, you know what I'm saying? Because actions speak louder than words. So if you was identifying that and working through it, it would materialize in what you do, what you envision for yourself.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, like you said, they were taught to be tough as far as men are concerned and not to express their true feelings. I think that's why we got problems now with the youth, and I know that's what the problem is. They don't know how to express their feelings.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, that's not good. You know, the majority of the time, good at all.
Yeah.
So the thing is, that's the thing, getting in touch with your feelings and reality. You can tell. Another guy can tell. Anybody can tell. You can tell if a guy is fearful versus unsure or whatever, because you could just look at it. His body language speaks it all. So a lot of times they might not admit it. And you got to look at the circumstances too. When you're in jail, you can't. I've never been in jail, but I mean, due to the circumstances, you can't show any weaknesses, because once you show weaknesses, then you have a problem. So a lot of times when they get out, they carry those traits. Even though you carry them in there, plus they bring them back out. Even worse now, because of the fear that they're just institutionalized now. So everything is okay. I got to make sure that nobody sees this. Nobody, they don't want to show that side of them. So that's the unfortunate part.
I hear a lot of men always saying, women are more emotional. They don't want to be around nobody emotional. But I say the soul is the emotional you.
Right.
We got to learn how to discipline that. But I don't want to be around nobody who doesn't show any emotion.
Right.
I really don't, because we can't link our emotions together to make ecstasy happen. You know what I mean? I think we all have to discipline our emotion, but not have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you gotta learn how to deal with it or how to accept it. You know what I mean? Men have been taught that you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to do, all of these other things.
We do that. Think about it. Because you got kids.
Oh yeah.
If your son falls, if he's crying, right? What do you say? Shut up,
you're right.
If he falls off a bike, right? If I fall off a bike as a little girl, oh, it's okay, baby. Like you are, like there's this nurturing that happens. If a little boy falls off the bike, it's like, suck it up. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You don't do that either.
I kiss my babies.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a limitation, I think, to a boy and a girl. You don't want to constantly baby a boy, because he has to be a man eventually one day. So you have to. There's a thin line between too much and not enough.
He's great right now.
But that's balance.
Well, the balance is having dad consistently there.
Right.
Because that can happen. What you just saying with mom, as your baby,
a lot of men are over mother and under father.
That's true.
I gotta write that down. Say it again.
Over mother and under father.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that the father is not there. A lot of times,
because you still can be there and be absent.
Right.
Oh
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Over mother
so true.
and under father.
Over mother and under father. I love it.
That's awesome.
That's a jewel.
Well, I tell you, I used to see guys, with the whole, you got to be tough. I'm like hitting the child like little children. Boom, boom. And I'm like, I can't take that shit no more.
Not up in the right.
You hitting vital organs.
Right.
And people don't take the time to look at the inside of the machine.
Right.
You hitting, he could be eternally internalized, like bleeding from internal. You hit pop. I'm like, oh, you got to stop doing it.
And
that's when the education came in.
Once again, for me, it's like females. So I tell a lot of my friends, be careful about how you speak to your man, because we fight with our mouths.
Right.
They fight with their hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to get beat up on. Stop beating them up.
Yeah.
Verbally. And
now, let me stop you right there. They shouldn't be hitting on a woman anyway. That's
nobody should.
But
that's
not, look, I'm gonna look at you like this.
The JCBI watch.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't teach my sons you don't hit a woman.
Right.
You know why? Because if you take that mentality, and I know women that kill men.
Well, what I'm saying is,
you understand? So that balancement has to be there as well.
Well,
I'm talking emotional. Like, I'm talking emotional side. Like, if you say something to him, now he gonna. No, if you gotta defend yourself, that's something different. She come at you with a knife. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, just because you say something, it shouldn't trigger something to make me want to hit you. And don't get me wrong, your mouths can be flipped, and you could be like,
you ain't hurt my mouth.
You know what I mean? No, I mean, it depends on how hard you push it.
Well, it goes back to this for me: over mother and under father. Because some men are very emotional. They think they're not.
They think that. There's a lot of men that's over emotional. The ones that say they're not emotional.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But what we're talking about is a self-awareness, right?
Right.
You have to be aware. And I think this is the thing. It's okay, male or female, for you to be aware that you know what, I'm fearful right now. This is holding me back. That doesn't mean you have to walk around in that fear. Like that doesn't mean you have to, we're not asking men, because trust me, nobody wants a man who's not in control of his emotions. Right. Like you don't want a woman who's not in control.
There's nothing attractive about that on either.
There's nothing attractive on There's nothing that's attractive about that. But you have to be self-aware that, you know what? Okay, Jourdeanna, you kind of tripping today. Like this is not a good look for you right now. This is not a place you need to be in. In terms of headspace and things like that. So so part of this, okay, so we talked about getting ourselves a circle, right? We talked about the dream killers. We talked about undoing. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, Miss Valencia M. What changed for you? What was the I mean, I know we went to that event, but there was still something that you had to do to ignite that change. What changed for you that made you say, I'm done. I want out of this fear. I want out of this self-imposed jail, and I want to be able to start making myself happy and enjoying my life in a different way. Doesn't mean you weren't happy, but finding a different level of happiness.
What started making me feel that I needed to figure something out was that, we have one more kid in the house. And, as women, we're mothers, we're wives, we're the caregivers, we're, all of those things. And then we don't leave enough for ourselves. Right. Yeah. And I needed to figure out, what am I going to be without having to take care of a kid? Right.
Oh, so once you were thinking when she leaves,
what am I?
We don't have any more kids. Like, so what happens?
What am I going to do? And I ain't taking care of you, child. You grown. I'm talking to my husband. That's it.
I knew that.
I wanted to say it on camera because he might be on here. Did that do a spot?
He know. So I was like, and I gotta have my own interests. Like he has his own thing. I don't have nothing. I really didn't have anything. All of my interests were with him, with the kids and stuff. And so I had to start figuring that out. And I really didn't know that until we went to that thing. And those questions that were being asked, like, what makes you happy? What do you want to do? Like, what's your dreams? I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to work. I'm taking care of home, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't about me. Right. And so that's when I started looking inward, and I needed to figure out what I want to do. And so when I talked to my mom, Lady D, I was like, listen, because she's always reinvented herself since I can remember. And we were just talking, and I said, I don't know what I want to do. And she said, well, what's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning? Like, what is it? And I was like, music, singing, like that. I was like, I guess that's what I'm gonna start doing then. And tried to find a couple of things, and it just didn't pan out. And then, cousin Pam talked to me about, John gave me his number and stuff, and was like, he's,
just say it.
Special. He's different. Yes.
Different. Meaning he get results.
His approach is a little different. And I was like,
results, facts.
I was like, I'm okay. I like weird. So we, I called him, met with him, and we've been working together ever since. Yeah,
it's been like more than a year now.
Yeah, fighting like cats and dogs now. That's what we do.
But she's expressing herself.
Yeah,
one of the things
he gets that out of me.
One of the things I told her during our orientation is she I asked her the same question. Yeah. Well, this is one of my bucket lists. Oh, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do bucket lists. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have choices to stay alive. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm constantly reversing the thought process that we all have to fight in this system. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because
But that's removing those words. Like, you're big on, if somebody says, well, I'm trying. Nope. You're not trying.
We're doing.
You're not doing bucket lists because that means you waiting to die to do things. That don't make sense.
That don't make sense.
We're gonna do it now.
I never believed in that anyway.
Let's just do it now. Like what we waiting for?
You said it best, and I'm going to my notes here. You said, you will fail if you don't start.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
Right. You gotta start.
It's a guarantee.
You gotta start.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
When you gonna start?
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is that I am thankful that I have my sister in my corner, because I'm telling you, not only will she push me, but that's my cheerleader right there.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah. So I mean, and I'm telling you, if you need to find a career, if you're not happy in your career, this is the person that you need to talk to, because she will find it for you. She will help you figure out what you need to do.
So now you got to tag her information.
That's it. What tag?
Plug yourself.
No, seriously though, that's Chosen Career Consultants.
Yeah.
Basically, what we do is we take it's really just a conversation initially, 15-20 minute conversation. I've got an interview questionnaire that I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that you've done. So I want to find out where you've been, where you're at, and where you want to go. And then that way I can guide you towards the career opportunities that are going to get you to that level of success. So if you know a recent high school graduate that isn't sure what they want to do, if you have a high school senior that's just starting their senior year now, they don't know what to do, I can help them. If you've been in your career and you want a bigger and better job, I just did interview prep with a gentleman that I worked with before. He was interviewing for this sort of regional position and has the education. And I just think he needed to do some interview prep to feel comfortable and confident to walk in there and claim that job.
That fear.
And everything we talked about in the interview prep was, this is your job. This is your job to get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't approach it that way, you will fail. If you don't start, you will fail. It's a guarantee, right? It's a guarantee. So the reality is he may not have got the job. Now he got the job because his career coach is wonderful, and he was fabulous. Okay. But no, I mean, but the reality is that you have to take the steps in order to move forward, right? And so if you don't try, or you don't even make an attempt to start, you're guaranteed to fail. Right. So I'm one of those people, like, if you're walking down the street and if I told you, hey, it's a $20 bill down there, or let's raise it. If I said it's a $100 bill down there, if you're the type of person that been like, all right, well, let me go down there and at least see. Mm-hmm. So it might be there, it might not. But what did it hurt you to go ahead and take that walk down there? Because you at least now had a chance of getting that $100. Mm-hmm. You didn't have a chance if you never took that walk. Yeah. And that's the point. We get so caught up on what if it doesn't work, or what if it fails. Yeah, you're guaranteed to fail if you don't start. So to me, what you got to lose? Go ahead.
Learn from your failures.
Shoot your shot, right? That's just for that. Shoot your shot.
Yes. And learn
shoot
from
your
it.
shot. That's it. That's it. Shoot your shot.
People who are fearful of being uncomfortable.
That's it. Yeah.
Uncomfortable. In order to be, how can I say? In order to be great, you have to stay uncomfortable. So you cannot settle just for complacency. You can't just stay, I feel great, I'm comfortable, I'm stay here. Yeah. Now you have to keep moving. Yeah. You have to go to those circles or go to something that makes you uncomfortable so you can become great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and plug it. Go ahead and say it.
I'm telling you,
he over here taking notes, but I'm gonna need you to go ahead.
I need to be comfortable
being
your
tagline. You already know you got your tagline.
Same thing.
No, uncomfortable. Your uncomfortable tagline.
Oh, which one is that?
I want you to. Come on. You say it all the time. I want you to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Yes. Come on now. That's the tagline.
That's it. Yes. Come on now.
Once again, we're at the Ride Outs Hideout live with our audience, the JCBIY Events Talk Show. With the team. Again, we got First Lady Ride Out in the building. We got Chuck B, DJ Chuck B, Charles Brinkley, CEO of everything that he does.
Everything.
Feel good talk. Feel good talk. I like that. I'm telling you, I like that feel good talk. Yeah.
After you believe in yourself, that feeling of feeling good, it's it's about resources, y'all.
Right.
We all are resources. So we had some of the comments here. Dr. LaRonda was chiming in. She said hello.
Hi.
She was saying, speak those that aren't as if they were.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
She's going to be our next keynote speaker on September the 26th, right here at the Ride Ass Hideout, Chester, PA, y'all. We're on the deck. So if you see us swatting, we in the back of nature.
That's it, right.
Y'all
I know we
see
look like
trees
we
in the
on that
background
tent,
over
right?
here, like
We look like
you
we on
trees
that
back
tent.
here, right?
We are
outside.
We are on
That's
the
me hitting these bugs. It's biting
Right,
me.
I
Oh,
the deck, the jacuzzi is bubbling, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
The
get ready
fire's
tomorrow.
down there popping,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Soothing Sun is
Yes.
tomorrow. So we're here with our little live audience, and we have someone who topped dogs and pet supplies,
That's not
baking
that's
potatoes
not,
with
yeah,
a glass
no,
of wine.
don't.
That's what he's doing. No, that's what he's doing.
I know,
He
but
baking next potatoes. I'm glad you chimed in.
okay.
Dog and pet supplies. Keep
That's
baking
it.
for your ex-wife. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But we're talking about fear of, one of the three things that keep us from being successful with our success coach, consultant, and everything that she does, Jourdeanna Yates, y'all.
Yeah.
That's it.
CEO.
So, all right. So we're on this fear kick today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about it's not too late for you to undo wrong thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop thinking negative and start thinking positive.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about removing those dream killers, right? And finding the balance of getting good people to be embedded in and with and around,
Right.
and kind of feeding your soul with some of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And really, we were talking about sort of overhauling your thought process, overhauling what you say, and how you walk, how you conduct yourself, and the things that you are making a reality for yourself, so that you can get out of that fear, which is your self-imposed jail. We don't want anyone watching this to serve a long fear sentence in jail, right?
Right.
You have a choice. You can be in jail for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Right.
But the reality is that you control it.
Yeah.
You control it. No one's holding the key but you.
Yeah.
And I think that was why I wanted you to share your story about, what kind of triggered for you.
Yeah.
And it really was about self-love and kind of spending that time. And so, I want us to talk about sort of how you embed that power in yourself and that love in yourself. And, sometimes it is just talking to yourself. I mean, it is literally in the mirror. So I on my bathroom mirror had taken Post-its and literally outlined my bathroom mirror. And they were sort of my just daily affirmations. Some of them were just quotes. Some of them were a song lyric. Some of them was a scripture. But it was the things that I said, okay, I'm going to start my day, you know what I mean? Saying, you know what? I am marvelously and wonderfully made. You know what I'm saying? And then I could bust out into a song and go, I'm every woman. And so whatever the Post-its were, though, but it allowed me to start my day walking in my power and feeling that, so that when negativity tried to seep in, or when people came at me with foolishness, and I was like, okay, you are marvelously and wonderfully made. You are every woman right now. And so, but it does. And so I guess the reason I say that is because I think sometimes people look at individuals and they go, wow, he's really put together, or wow, she's really put together. And you think that means that they don't go through things, or that they don't experience things, or that they don't have negative days or negative moments. Jill Scott said in one of her live performances, she was saying people see you when you have natural hair. She was like, they're like, oh my God, Jill, you must be so positive. She was like, listen, some days I am, some days I ain't. And that was how she said it. And I thought that was huge, because the reality is that there's moments that you just don't feel like it. But you can't live in that moment. You have to realize, and this is part of, for me, why I started Chosen Career Consultants, is because everybody has a special gift and a talent. Everybody has something that makes them unique and wonderful, and you have to find what that is and allow that to come out, and allow it to come out. And once you do, there's so many different doors that will open for you, for sure.
Energy follow thought. So you got,
and that's what happened for you. You allow one thing to open up, right? You start voting, and then next thing you know, you've got, food with Valencia M, and so you know what I mean. You're doing health and wellness. You've got health and wellness clients. So it started with the singing, but think about how many things happened as a result of that. And if you hadn't done that one thing, none of those other things would have been in place. And that, I think, is the amazing thing. And so, we share our stories because we sit here and we look really well put together. But the reality is that
gets messy sometimes.
I confess my fear, right? Like we go through fear. It gets tough some days, and we have a team that can help. We help hold each other accountable. We help push each other, and those are the things that we want for everybody. We want everybody. We don't want anyone to feel like they are alone or they don't have resources. So I'm super excited about Dr. LaRonda doing our next social networking event. I am a big advocate of mental health and mental awareness. So I'm super excited about her message. I feel like we should have little mini couches around this social networking event, because I might need to lay on the couch and get a session.
We'll claim this chair.
That's it. We're gonna need I'm gonna need a couch session. Okay?
She's gonna be right here with her PowerPoint. So you better.
I love it. I need some time on the couch.
Yes.
So we're gonna continue to come to you guys week after week. We're going to continue to give you resources and skills. We're going to continue to invite wonderful people who are also doing big and wonderful things. I'm telling you, I checked out after I met you on Saturday. I started looking at Feel Good Talk and watching some of the things that you guys are doing too. And so I'm super excited. I think there's so much. I think that there's so much that we have to do. I'm excited that you guys have these Soulful Sundays and they're teaching people about soothing Sundays. Look, I didn't call it self-care Sunday, soulful Sunday.
It's all the same.
It's called the S Sunday. Is what it's called.
And we're in the community.
And that's it. That's it. So we'll continue to just kind of give back and continue to make sure that we're just continuing to feed into you guys for sure.
We won't be here on the 19th of this month because First Lady Ride Out is doing something for the grandchildren and children in the community. So that's the only day this month you won't see us here. We're planning the trip, y'all. You don't know, but I'm working out the logistics that we're going to Cali. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go perform the Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell in November. I'm working up where we can have our keynote speaker speak for 45 minutes before we get them live entertainment. So we locking in those dates, and the focus is the planet. You know what I mean? Not just one place. Sending that message of believing in yourself throughout the balance universe.
Worldwide, baby.
Okay,
worldwide.
That's it.
That's what I'm claiming.
Right.
That's it. That's it. From the northeast to the south to the west. Over the pond, we worldwide.
We on our way. We on our way.
For sure.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Exactly. For sure.
So any last words?
My last words is thanks for tuning in, watching us, spending a little time with us, and remember to eat like you give a damn about yourself and believe in you. We done?
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye. I believe.